talking about last night, how I was expecting this clutch to hatch, and finally got up this morning. There was a little head poking out, just this little guy down the bottom here. So
first to emerge.
Yeah, it's about time.
And what was this clutch? This is the Darwin.
Yes, this is pure albino or pure Darwin's. So Albino Boy over a het female, his sister.
Yep.
So
yep.
They've been pretty reliable breeders. They're probably, I think they're about 12 or 13 years old now. I really should go back and have a look. But they kind of came out of Simon Stone to Mark Smith and Peter Pavanian.
Yep.
They bred them, and then I got these guys off them. So it was quite early in the early days, when they were nice and expensive.
Yes, we won't talk about how much we paid for some things in the past. All these people who are blessed with $300, $400 albinos these days.
Mate, I think mine was 11 grand. I think.
Yep. But 11 or 12 years of breeding, I'm sure it's been a good investment.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, no complaint. I think they're. I mean, we won't discuss prices, but I sell mine out every year. Or else I tend not to breed stuff if they're not selling. So albinos always seem to be a good mover. People like them wholesale, the whole lot. So
yep,
just depends on how many I get in this little clutch. So
how many eggs did we end up with that are good?
So it was 27 in total, and 3 went off. I just separated the eggs, so for those won't. So these are all in the clump. So you can see here's on its didn't go very well. So, and I've literally just torn that out. You can probably see on some of these eggs here where it was attached. So I just thought I'd save myself a bit of time doing the separation. So that's where you can see there's another one was attached there. Yeah. So they're all in the clump.
Yep.
But yeah, so once again, it's just one of those things that that happens, unfortunately. A few eggs go off. That's the way it goes. So separate them all for egg cutting makes it a bit easier. So spend 5 minutes trying to separate the clump. So
yeah, absolutely. So for the not so genetics geniuses, what should we be looking at as far as the odds?
Well, theoretically, we got 50-50. So being albino over het albino, 100% het. Hopefully, we should see half a clutch of albinos and half a clutch of 100% het albinos. But as you know, with genetics and ratios, some people get confused that it's like, say, the clutch. Like the odds, in this case, should be 1 in 2. So 1 albino, 1 thing, het. But it's actually, the odds are actually per egg. So as that egg gets fertilized, you look at two recessives, you got a 1 in 16th chance. It's that odd or that chance on each egg as it's being fertilized. So you don't get 16 eggs. You don't get a xanthic pepper, for example.
No, it's not. Never true to the theory. It's just the theory. But
that's the statistics. If you bred, I don't know, 100 clutches, the ratios would work out to that. Same with male to female. Sexes should be 50-50. But as we spoke the other night, you'll sometimes get high ratios of girls or boys or whatever. So that's just the fun side of breeding with hets and odds. It's not always good odds.
Yeah, well, we've seen before how good or how bad odds can be. So I guess it's up to you tonight. Try and, what do we got? 27 good ones?
No, what do we got? 24 good ones. 3 went into bin.
24.
6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. So we got 24 good ones.
So 12 albinos is a fair shot. Any more or less, then that's just the way the cookie crumbles, I guess.
Yeah, I reckon. So we got in the chat tonight. You want to go through that, Brent?
Yeah, mate, before we snip up.
And say hello.
Charlie Deeb, as always. Kane, g'day, mate. Troy the gangster, always lurking around. Michelle, g'day, Michelle. See you in the morning for work again already. Can't believe it's Monday. Just feels like I was at work 2 seconds ago. Well, I was yesterday. Painful. Brendan, Tyler, g'day, mate. How are you?
Guys.
Peter Sharon, Mr. Moores Williams. G'day, buddy. My Rooster pal.
Yeah. Sharon
Bo,
Harris.
yep. Some Darwin's, Anthony, as always. Now, Scotty Reed. G'day, mate.
Scotty.
Big Scotty.
Brendan.
Well, let's start cutting, mate. Let's see if you can break through the 12. What's your prediction? Let's have a write down on your bit of paper there what you think you're going to pull. Whoever's closer owes the other one a bottle of piss.
Hang on a second. That could be rough. Let me find a text of the writing. What's this one? This will do. Let's see. Does it count the fact I know the first one already?
Well, it'll give you a head start, I guess. Looks dark to me. Just from the egg, looks wild type.
I'm gonna what do I say? Or 24. I'm gonna go with 15. You can see that? Yeah, 15 elves.
Confident.
Oh yeah, I'm going for a losing streak here for sure. So like give me 9. We'll just call them wild types. So that's me. What are you, Brent?
I'm going to go the exact opposite of you.
I'm going to put you as BS.
No
opposite.
Bullshit.
So you're going to go this way.
15 wild type, 9 albino.
There we go.
I'll have a bottle of Bailey's when I win. Thank you.
So, all right. It's Bailey's is on the line.
Kahlua next clutch.
And it's whoever gets closest wins.
Yep. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
All right. Everyone watching can witness. All right.
You want a bottle of Passion Pop as always, I suppose?
Passion Pop. I'll have the non-alcoholic beer, thanks.
We'll see.
Yeah. Now that I've done that, I know it's going to be a losing streak.
You never know. Troy wants a bottle of Green Island. You shouldn't have drank it all in one night. You should have saved some for another day.
Green Island, what, tea?
Langer says, good luck tonight. Yes, Darren's going to need it. Oh, he's off to a good start, though.
There we go. See, I knew.
Correct colour.
Yep.
You knew that was albino, didn't you, though?
I did.
That was your cheat snake.
It's my cheat snake. Well, its head was poking me out of the egg. Whereabouts is your head?
Well, that's a good start.
Yeah.
Brendan says 12 and 12. Yeah, fair.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, Michelle is correct. A litre bottle. She's been trained very well. Do not bother with these little 700ml throwdowns.
All right, so I'll just put them up there. All right, do you have any preference, Brent? Would you like to go left, right, or middle?
Charlie Deeves brought up a good point that you've written it the wrong way around on the numbers, but we know what you're meant to write.
What do you mean the wrong way around on the numbers?
On my side, you're supposed to have 9 albinos, 15 wild types. You've just done it upside down. Is that an insurance policy for yourself?
Yeah, that's right. So, yeah.
I'm glad Charlie's paying attention. I was just assuming you knew how to write things and wouldn't stitch me up.
I know how to write things. The problem is the connection between the brain and the fingertips sometimes breaks. So, where do you want to go next, Brent?
Just go in order, mate. We got plenty to get through. So, Langer saying, are we picking eggs tonight to make it fun? Probably not, because we got 24 to get through. So, we're going to have to try and rip through this lot fairly quickly, I suppose.
You can, if you want, feel free to punch it in the chat while I'm cutting the egg open, and just type wild type or alb, and we'll see.
Yep.
But we're off to a good start for me.
Wild type, bingo.
Well, it went sequel now.
Yeah, back to even. G'day, Carl. I was just having a quick chat with Carl before. I love Carl's accent. You probably use that a lot, I'm sure. Garth, Mr. Rankin himself.
Yeah, it's actually Faye.
Oh, okay.
Faye
is bloody Facebook jail.
She's in the naughty corner, as always.
Again?
Yeah.
God. I'm surprised I haven't just shut her off Facebook altogether. She's such a public menace.
Things she writes.
Yep, there's definitely Faye there. She's just admitted it.
Yeah. All right. I'm in the right spot here.
Yep, Nick's joined us. G'day, Nick. Evening, gents. Fair few there. Yep, 24 good ones. Darren's got a bottle of Bailey's on the line if he fails to come up with 15 albinos. Shit. I'm nervous already. 2-to-1 ratio.
Yeah, I've taken the big gamble. It's probably going to cost me a bottle of Bailey's, but anyway, it's all for
Hey,
fun.
well, this is a bloody good start. Good start. It's
If
going to
I
cost
get
me a
enough,
bottle. Yeah.
yes. If I get enough goop on this and I'm wrong, I can say, I can't remember what I wrote down.
You already tried to shunk the system once.
I was working on it.
Peter was going for wild type there. He missed out.
Type?
That was all albino there.
All right. Get your bets in. Next egg's coming up. Get your bets in. Last bets.
No more bets.
Catch the goop. All right. So who's guessing on this one?
Let's go wild type.
What's on? We're going Alb.
I've
got to back myself now.
Yeah, all the supporters are coming in for you and the albinos. They're loving it.
Good.
Well, it's looking dark to me. I love that shadow straight out the side of the egg.
Don't say that. You know what I like? You know what I like? When you're wrong.
Oh, wow. Look at it go. Everyone wanted that Alb.
You know what'll happen? We'll get to 9. Then you'll over.
That'll be the last one you see.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice albino going well. What's that? 3-1?
Yeah, 3-1. Yeah, you're not supposed to say those things.
I'm trying to jinx it. I'm trying hard to jinx
it. You'll probably succeed quite well.
Braden, g'day, Braden. Braden says hello to Daz.
Hello. Thanks
Shay, g'day.
Dropping in, everyone.
A few people rolling in. It's good to see. A bit of Sunday night entertainment.
Well, Sunday night, whether it's entertainment or not. Oh, dear.
Look at that. They've all gone on you now. Yeah, look at them. The crowd went for wild type too. The majority called it.
Oh.
Beautiful. The odds were stacked in for a wild type. It's like at the casino when you're on red and black. You got three reds in a row. You got to go black.
It's quite a dark one.
Very dark.
Put that over
Darky Darwin.
In the pile of not supposed to be gathering. It's supposed to be staying empty, that pile over there.
What's that back to? 3-2.
So, yeah, what are we calling this one? I'm going to go albino.
Wild type.
The way I'm going, I should actually start
albino.
Per egg.
Very nice. Very nice. Well done. Phil Colvin, g'day, mate.
Hey, Phil. It's in you right there.
Going well.
His egg just sneezed all over me. Isn't that lovely?
Big screen on the egg cut, does?
Yeah. I just looked at that and kind of clicked as a egg sneezed on me. Sorry, my bad. My bad.
I was too excited about bloody wild types coming out. Forgot about big screen.
Yeah, the sidekicks let me down.
Sorry, mate. We're all too excited in your wild types. Ryan, g'day, mate.
We are. All right.
Jason does producing the goods once again. Yes, it'll be beautiful, pure Darwins, albinos and wild types, which, funny enough, there's not that many being produced. A lot of the albinos on the market these days are mixed blood stuff, which is all good and well. Pretty colours and sizes and shapes, but these being pure Darwin and a beautiful wild type. Look at the red. Yes.
Look at that red. It's almost like a gem.
Yeah. It's like a special gem. Yes. Very pretty. Lovely wild type.
Very nice. It's amazing the variation you get in these, considering, I've been breeding for such a long time. You get some nice dark ones and some really nice light coloured ones.
Yep.
Really
Yes, cool. Always a big range. Darwins and coastals can be tricky for some.
This one's a patch egg, so this has got to be in the albino, isn't it? Right, based on your theory of sometimes the crappy eggs have the best in them.
Yep. So Matthew, any chance you can move the subtitles? I think you can turn the subtitles off at your end. I don't think we have control of the subtitles for the texting.
Where's the subtitle? I don't see any subtitles on my screen.
Nah, I think if you you've got to do it on your own personal screen to get rid of it.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. I thought
Yeah,
it was
but it'll
something
bring
coming
up the words. Facebook likes to read
annoy
it
the
out
crap
to
out of
you.
people.
Yep.
Oh.
Wild type. Oh no, that's Albino.
Look at that.
Disappointing.
Hey, that's 5. I've only
Good
only
work.
got a
Good
lot more
work.
to go.
Yeah.
Let's
I
get
think
through
you
the cutting and then we'll
you're
try
still
and
in the
find some
lead.
heads.
Still in the lead.
Yeah, that's good. We'll turn that one around so it doesn't roll over and pour goop everywhere. All right. Let's see. I was right. See, that was a crappy egg and it was an albino.
Yeah, right. My magic theory's holding up on that. Shit eggs, great snakes.
Yeah, it is.
Well, Roberts, g'day, buddy. Always a regular.
Yeah.
Gaz Langley, how was your weekend? Daz is going all right. He's kicking my ass at the moment. But wait for it.
How far do you think I'm kicking it? How far do you think I'm kicking it?
Do
you think I'm kicking it a little bit further?
Oh, my God. I reckon you canned all these and you already checked them to see what was what.
That'd be funny. Might try that next time.
Well, was correct. Albino was next, yes.
Yeah. Save that goop from there.
Albino.
That's 6-3 now.
Going well.
Oh, jeez. It is. All right, let's take another one here. What do you reckon on this one?
Wild type, please.
Wild type. Desperate for that bottle, aren't you? Yeah.
I drank it last night. I need to replace it.
Oh, so it wasn't chocolate milk you were drinking.
I said there was some additives. I wish there wasn't this morning. Oh, that's another albino. My God.
Damn, he saw it.
Oh, my God. You're starting to shit me.
We'll get to the back row and it'll be wild type.
I don't know. It's, you got it on a string. Lovely albino. Pretty wet, too. For how many days? These are nearly full term, weren't they?
Oh, over. They're laid on the 27th and they've actually done on the 28th. So it's 2 months, so 30, 31 days, depending on the month dates, if they're 31 month dates.
Yeah, going well.
Yep.
Jan Smith, hello, mother. Did I miss anything? Just Darren being a smart ass as normal. Other than that, no. Standard Sunday night.
Prefer the term clever dick. But smart ass is fine.
Darren beating the odds of Dan Murphy's torture at this stage.
I have this feeling that it's all about to go downhill. I feel my luck's ended.
Well, let's do it. Let's see it.
We're going to do another one of Brent's. You know, it's a poopy egg. It's a good snake. So
yeah, another albino coming up. Here we go. Dominic says, "How long have you guys been breeding?" And Darren for about 80 years.
A bit over 20 years. Yeah, I think 97 or 98 or something like that. I started. Got my first reptiles. Start off with one, end up with about 40 in the first 12 months.
Oh, nobody does that. Bingo! Yes, wild type. Yeah, beautiful wild type. Not so red, that one. Yeah. Beautiful work. Brad Forrester, g'day, mate.
You gotta love the wild types just as much.
I love them all. I love the wild types.
Yeah.
When I'm not cutting them, I love them.
When they're not in your hands, it's all good. When it's in someone else's, yes.
Hell yes. Kurt Jaspers, what's 31 days for us? 60 days since these ones were laid. 31 days in a month, trying to work out exact days, but we're roughly at pretty much full term for carpet eggs at 60 days done. Oh, that looks dark too, Daz. That's got a nice dark look at it.
Curse you.
Come on.
Oh, no.
Come on, wild type.
It's the wrong colour, mate. It's the wrong colour.
Oh, yes. Bingo. Wild type it is.
Oh, damn. I told you I thought the odds might change.
Yeah, he got out of the box well, but suddenly in the main straight, starting to struggle.
Yeah. Corey, according to plan.
Yes.
It's 7-5 now.
Starting to even out.
Let's take one from over here. I was having more luck at the front row. It's all changed.
Well, Robert said, Darren, that's as he started with the old original Adam and Eve snake. I wouldn't doubt it. He's probably got descendants from the line way back in the day.
You kind of look at some of the stuff I've had over the years, and no.
Don't get excited too early. I reckon that's
don't get
exact.
Too early. Be patient till I flick the lid.
Yeah, righto. I know you saw the exact though when you got excited.
I did. Suddenly I realised, I thought, oh, that's not the right colour.
Calm down, but yeah, you got away with it.
Yeah.
Carl Smith, are there any pied carpets like they have in reticks and balls? Sadly, not, mate.
Not yet.
If someone could hurry up and hatch one out, so we can all pay a fortune to own them, that would be fantastic. I'll start saving now.
Yeah, if I start saving now, I'll probably be able to afford one in 20 years.
Yes. When am I doing egg cutting, Bo? Very shortly. I've got a couple that will be early next week. Super Zebra Het Albino to a beautiful Sunglow Zebra Jaguar male. Make some very nice Sunglow Supers.
Sunglow? A Sunglow is a similar colour to that.
That's not the right colour. No, that's just albino.
That's a lovely colour. It is. It's just an albino.
More similar to the brown ones, I believe. Yes. Yeah, well, albino back in, eh? That's got you at least 3 eggs in front now. That must be nearly 9, is it?
We got 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. 9 to 5.
Oh.
So you need to hope that all these.
To be perfectly yes, but the majority of them might get me there. I'm feeling like I'm in trouble now.
I'm going to let you pick. Here we go. We've got 5 and 5. I'm going to let you pick the next one. So you tell me. We'll start 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Bottom middle wild type.
This one.
Yep.
Bottom one number. Yeah. All right. Let's go.
If it's right, I get 2 points.
If it's right, you get to pick the next one.
I'll make up my own rules now. I'm losing.
Well, things can change rapidly.
As it does with eggs. Anything could happen.
Oh, no.
Wild type. Bingo. Thank you. Thank you very much. Beautiful. Bring me the brown ones.
His head's just sitting there perfectly in the middle.
Perfectly forming, waiting.
Yeah. I'm
surprised a few of them are still fairly wet for 60 days in.
Yeah. That one was at the more towards the back of the tub, so whether it's just got that little bit more heat. But it was just lucky, I guess. So
yep.
All right.
Was this a bit lower in the incubator or something? Or
this was in the middle. So basically, the middle third shelf down, middle shelf. So. Yep. As I said the other night, it's probably sitting at maybe mid-30s, I suppose. Yep. The bottom's around low 30s, so it's probably 30.7 or 8. So I'd be expected, from 31.5 down to even, say, 31's enough to make a few days difference. So,
yep.
What's your next pick then?
Top row, second from the right.
This one?
Yep.
Right.
Wild type. Let's go.
If you're wrong, I get to pick the next one.
Peter says top right. That's what I'm going next, mate. I'm with you 100%. After this wild type, there'll be another one right next door.
I'm going to curse you.
Bye, Michelle. Michelle's going. She's got to get to bed early because she's got to do 17 Ks on the treadmill and then do 100 deliveries tomorrow.
See you, Michelle. Thanks for putting in. Very nice. What are you doing to me?
What is that, mate? What do you call that morph?
Red face.
Very red face.
I just call that a Darwin.
Yes, Garth, I am a genius. Secret Faye. 2 from 2 on the wild type pick.
No, it's not good.
And I'm going with Peter's selection. Top right.
Top right.
Third wild type in a row.
My odds were going great. Now they're starting. So this one?
How are we looking now?
You say top right?
Yep. Wild type. Where are we at? What's the scoreboard?
I'm not going to tell you.
I'm not even caring. Just let them just keep cutting those wild types, mate. It'll fix itself in time.
It's 9 to 7 at the moment.
Not bad, not bad.
Oh, the odds are changing. It's the wrong colour.
Look at that. Show me the money. That is beautiful. Beautiful work.
It's just not right.
Lovely, lovely work. I'm going to think about this next one. I have to pull four in a row wild types. It's going to take some effort.
Yeah.
Question from Jessica while I think about it. Excuse the inexperience, but does breeding 100% albino to 100% het mean all the wild types in the clutch are hets? No. You can answer that, Daz?
Nope.
No, it does. I think.
Sorry, hang on. You read the question.
It right. Yeah, by 100% alb, I guess she means by albino to 100% het. Then all the wild types in the clutch will be hets. Yes, they will be.
Yeah, I'm just getting confused if she means 100% albino. You mean so albino
like
to
it's
het?
An albino,
yes.
Yes. Like what this clutch is. Yes, an albino to
so
a het albino.
Yeah, so all the wild types because the albino carries 2 copies of the gene because it's visual. So both copies get passed down. So the parent can only pass down an albino gene. It cannot pass down a wild type gene. So therefore, one albino copy goes to every single baby. And obviously those that get both copies are albinos and the wild types are all 100% hets because they've only got one from the mum or the dad, whichever the albino version is.
Absolutely.
And the more albinos the better, so I can win the bet.
Jeremy Finlay in the house. G'day, Jezza.
All right. Pick away, mate.
Talking to a guy today that said you're a good bloke and you love a beer. So I said, mate, he doesn't know Jeremy very well at all. He was very correct, though. I'm going to go bottom right in that little bunch of wild types in that corner over there.
Mm-hmm.
Richard Husband, what happens if it's a 50-50 split? Do you share the bottle? I reckon we'll probably just double it up for the next clutch because I don't want to share any bottle with Darren the way he's shitting me at the moment, popping albinos out everywhere. All I'll hear about is albino.
All you hear and get to see is albino. His winning streak's ended.
Broke the streak. It was hard to go 4 in a row.
Yeah.
Hard to go 4 in a row. Well, the pickings from you were everyone wanted to go bottom left. Everyone was dying for a wild type bottom left, but
bottom left.
Went against the crowd odds.
I'm going to go bottom. I'm going to go the big fat egg here.
That's the bottom left.
Yep. I'll go with the crowd favourite. It's going to be an albino because it's a crowd favourite. That's what I'm going to call it.
I think David wants the score check. I think we're getting close to even Stevens, I think.
Well, I'm still in favour. It's getting closer in favour to me.
I feel like
wild
type.
God, only got one shot and I ruined it.
This crowd knows where they're at.
The band's on it.
That's very dark, isn't it?
Yeah. So much polygenic variation in these. It's unreal when they're all hatched out. We'll get some photos up and stuff like that so people can see, or do a recap video or something one night so we can see the difference.
Yep.
All right, mate.
5 to go.
Yeah,
5 to go.
In there. So you got what's your pick? Seems I lost one chance and blew it.
Top middle.
Top middle.
What's the score? Where are we at? I'm feeling nervous now.
10-9.
Wild types are in front though.
10 albs, 9 wild types.
Oh, okay. God, I feel like we had such a streak of wild types there. We must have been a long way behind.
Yeah. It was about quite a few in front with the albs.
10-9, eh?
No. You know how we're saying about you know how we're saying about odds.
Yep.
So that makes our odds exactly 50-50 at the moment.
10-10 with 4 to go.
Yeah.
It's getting tight, getting very tight. Oh, well, it looks like neither of us are getting a perfect score. It's impossible now.
Oh, well. Depends if we've got... There's 2 albums and 2 things we've got an exactly perfect 50-50. So it depends on if there's 3 wild types All 3 albs in here. You won that one. What's your next pick?
Yeah, top right.
He's on the fat egg.
Wild type, of course.
Nah, it's going to be an albino. I can sense it.
I'm
using the force.
You're going to need it. I think we're both
going
to be wrong,
to need it. I think, oh dear.
Oh
dear. It's an albino.
Back to the lead he goes.
Oh, it's coming down to the wire. It's coming down to the wire.
We might even see the magic even split, 50-50-50.
Goodness me. Oh,
Albino's 1 ahead.
All right, you know what? I've been watching this one. I'm going this one.
Shitty looking egg. You'll try and pull another albino out of it.
Try and pull a Swifty.
This could put all the pressure on if you pull one here and go 2 in front with 2 to go.
Oh, be like a game of tennis. Be like advantage.
Match play golf.
That really sucks.
Bingo.
It is
Back
literally. I don't think I've ever had a clutch exactly 50-50 odds in the entire time that I've been breeding albino.
Not on those sort of numbers. You're always 3 or 4 out over 24. There's never identical, but here we are with 2 to go.
Oh, I lost your pick. Which one, top or bottom?
I'll go top for the wild type.
Top for the wild type.
I need a wild type now. I don't have any hope. This is pretty much it for the majority.
Jeez.
If it's a split, I guess we're doubling up.
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh, there's a lot of pressure, that egg. That puts all the pressure back to you to produce a albino to have any hope of a split.
Yeah.
And here we go. 1 to go. 1 to go. Thank you, Mr. Wild Type. I like him. Put my name on that egg, will you? I might have that Wild Type.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I can say that word on live Facebook.
Still in... no, it's past 9 o'clock. Past PG time. Well, this is it, eh? This is the crunch moment. So pretty much if this is a wild type, you've 100% lost. If it's a albino, you get a split. So you can't actually win anymore. Oh, that looks brown to me. Show me the wild type.
Let me just check the odds here.
Show me the wild type. Oh, yes.
He wins.
Woo-wee. Thank you. Oh, that was a lot of pressure. I had to come from way behind there.
Yeah, just a dark albino. Yeah, this is a dark albino.
That's an exceptionally dark albino, that thing. Almost looks like Zan think it's albino.
Yep. Dave Avery, thanks, mate. Yeah, I think I might call this the dark chocolate albino.
Chocolate albino. Beautiful work.
Chocolate albino. You've got, we had a raspberry albino before. You got something light. Raspberry red.
Oh, there's one. Red cordial special. Very pretty. Very pretty. Thank you, that wild type also. I loved all the wild types tonight. I'm very impressed with their performance.
11 albs. 13 wild types.
It seems a little closer to my prediction that you've tried to rub out in goop underneath you there, but we all knew.
There's goop everywhere. Still there, but I've preserved the
kept it there forever more to see.
Yeah, I was hoping I'd be right. I was a big gamble.
Close. Kept it entertaining right to the very end though.
Kept it real. That's it. So
well, not a bad bunch, mate. Not a bad bunch all the same.
Yeah, no complaints. There's a couple of nice light coloured ones in there.
11 albinos, nothing to be sneezed at.
No. I actually want to hold a couple back more this year, but a few people
update some breeders.
I want some pure albinos.
Yeah, they're always popular. So I get messages all the time for pure, and I haven't bred my pure ones for years and years and years. Actually, probably time I did a pairing. Now they're 11 or 12 years old. I probably should get the next generation out of them before they get too old.
Yeah, I haven't kept any back. I've actually got some over here that'll hopefully be up to size this year. Another trio, male and two girls. They're eating large rats at the moment, so they should be right for this coming season.
Should be some replacements there.
Yeah, we'll just flick the screen around here. There we go. So they always sell really well. They're good for combinations and things like that. So I like to keep some pure
good
stuff.
As a pure line, just pure Darwins too. They're always popular. I'm amazed at how many people are always looking for a beautiful albino. Just straight up albino. It's still a very popular snake.
Plenty of mixed blood stuff around. Not there's anything wrong with that, but I still get a lot of people asking for the pure stuff and even the hets. So they all sell pretty well. So it's they're nice. They're good animals. They look pretty. The adults are stunning animals.
Yep, the first absolutely insane morph for the hobby. Really, it changed the game at the time where there was all brown snakes and suddenly white and yellow snakes were a crazy change up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mitchell, good job. We'll enjoy that bottle. It will go down extra special, and I will drink it while cutting more of Darren's clutches just to rub it in even more.
Baileys. No, I better be careful. I'm never good at winning bets for alcohol. So on Brent's turn, I'm bound to lose another one.
It's a good start.
Yeah.
Good start.
Good start for someone. Not good for me.
Oh, Sprouty. Munya joined us finally. Hi there. I thought I was finally going to catch one live. It's still late. Yes, well, you were probably out enjoying a beverage or two instead of watching live TV.
Yeah.
Jamie, yes, pure Darwins.
Yep, pure Darwins.
Bo, how do you know when your snake is ready to breed?
Me to go ahead? I think it's twofold. One's an age thing. Brett and I talked about this in for quite a bit last night on the show. So we both believe. Animals can breed younger, but we don't like to breed them prior to 2.5 years. So you're looking at 2.5 years of age, and then you want a good bit of condition on them. So you're probably looking, ideally, I'd say 2.5 kilos is a good size for in this case, a nice sized albino or het albino Darwin or just a wild type Darwin, I think is a good size. So it's not so much of how do you know? By its age, so when it was born, and obviously if you've put enough feed and condition into it. In saying that, if the animal is mature, it doesn't need to be massive to reproduce. They can reproduce at a smaller size in terms of weight, providing they have the age maturity. Yep. So it's often the thing, you want it to breed young, they've got to have the size, but they can be older and have a smaller size on them and still produce a clutch. So it's twofold. Do you want to add anything yourself, Brent? Or
no, mate. Talking carpets wise, definitely. I think we've covered it a few times. If you 2.5 and 2.5 is ideal. 2.5 years old, 2.5 kilos is absolutely spot on the money. If you feed them weekly for the first 2 years, you'll get that quite comfortably. You won't need to be midweek feeding, double feeding, any of the magic tricks. Just a weekly feed will keep them on track to get there in time. So I know Antaresia and other things breed, much at 18 months, seemingly easier than carpets with less problems, it seems. But it's, for the health and safety of things, we've gone back to 2.5-year-olds for kickoff for girls.
Yeah, and when we say feed, and Brent says feed, there was an interesting discussion about the size of food on who was it? Some a thread I saw.
Groups, yeah,
one of the groups, somewhere or other, and someone had a 2-year-old animal was eating like fuzzy rats or something or other. And anyway, if you're feeding your snake, you want to see a distinct bulge in the belly at the end of the day. So if it's the size of your pinky, you want it the size of your thumb when it's done. So you want to be able to look at the snake and go, there's a bulge. You want to be able to see that bulge for 2 to 3 days before the bulge starts to disappear. So, when we say feed it, it'll get the size. If you feed it a pinky once every week for its entire life, well, it's not going to grow. So there's been studies done on it. The metabolic rates are the same, whether you feed a bigger meal versus a smaller meal. The difference is when you feed a bigger meal, the energy they have is put into growth. in a smaller meal, that energy is put into survival. So when you feed them a pinky rat, it has enough to keep itself alive and do whatever it needs to do and not use up much energy. When you feed it, let's just say for argument's sake, 3 pinky rats, it's obviously got food to keep itself alive and obviously put some of that fuel into growing. So that's the difference. So you need to give them a good feed, one that you can see a bulge in the belly. You don't have to pump full of food, as Brent said, but you just want to see a nice bulge in the belly. Feed them once a week, and if you feed them a correct meal, they'll grow along quite nicely, shed regularly, and they'll get the size, no problem whatsoever.
Yep, absolutely. It's consistency in the feeding is good for them. Certainly, all year round feeding in the early part keeps them growing nicely.
Absolutely. What else you got, guys? You got 3 pure Barwins. 3 pure Darwins. Not sure het or not, but we'll be surprised if we don't do. Well, hopefully, fingers crossed.
Hope so. Wild types for the win, as it was tonight.
Yeah, definitely. What's Bo written here?
One there from Bo.
Caramel Zeb is roughly 2 years old and on large rats, but isn't 2.5 kilos. Does that matter? No, it doesn't. No. It's just it's a ballpark guideline sort of weight. Like, I don't weigh my snakes at all. I used to years ago, and I guess when you've weighed as many as I have over time, you kind of get more of a visual idea of that's got condition or that doesn't. So if you're not sure, weighing is a good thing, but I wouldn't say it has to be 2.5 kilos. You might get to 1.8, 1.9, be 2.5 years of age, and be fine. And still produce a clutch, no problem. So it's just a guideline figure. And if it's 2 years old now, if you're talking now, it's isn't quite 2.5 kilos, you can easily put over the next probably close
6
to
months.
6 months, you'll easily put on 0.5 kilo. No problem whatsoever.
At least.
Yeah, at least.
Yep.
It's eating large rat. And the same principle applies. If you feed it a large rat and you're not noticing much of a difference in its stomach, feed it an extra large. Got to understand, Morelia are designed and able to cope with eating anything. They're designed to eat mammals. They're not like Aspidaites, like Euomas and blackheads, where they're predominantly a reptile feeder. So they don't suffer as much in terms of fatty liver and fatty heart disease. They can cope with the excess. I mean, when was the last time you heard of a diamond python or a coastal carpet cruising around the bush, checking if the possum it's about to eat is, how old it is, what age it is, if it's been to the gym or not, and what its fat content is. It doesn't care. The thing can be riddled with, pus-filled cysts and half dead. And even dead, they actually predate on and dead stuff. So, feeding an extra large or jumbo rats with that fattier content in it, it's not a problem, especially with a female. When they produce a clutch, they will burn through so much fat, it's not funny. They will use up a ton of energy going through. So, and if you're someone that doesn't want to feed them that, then don't be scared to feed it 2 large rats or 2 medium rats, whatever it needs to be to get that decent sized meal in it, if that's the way you prefer. So,
as a general rule, when I used to weigh snakes more often and try and get maximum amount of food into them, I had a rough rule of 20% of the snake's weight as food, as the feed. So if you've got a kilo snake, 200 gram rat is the most it should eat, and that was, even then I wouldn't do that every feed, and that was the maximum. So I might get a 200 gram one week and a 150 the following week, or 120 and then back to a 200. I'm not all about exactly the biggest feed it can always take. I think it's certainly good for them to have a bit of variety in size of meals to keep their digestion flowing through at different rates.
Absolutely. Definitely.
So,
there's multiple ways of doing it, but that's, for you just kind of getting into it and start doing it. It's a simple way. Give them a good solid feed once a week. You want to see them, bloat up a little bit the next day as the digestive fluids start to work on breaking down the prey item. So, the day they eat it, there'll be a bulge. The next day it'll swell up. It'll be a lot bigger. So, and then it'll start to go down after that over the next day or two. So as long as that bulge is there for 2 to 3 days, and then you're feeding it, another 4 days later sort of thing, that's a good feed. So,
and that's certainly, this type of feeding, we're talking for the first 2 years of its life too. Once they're past 2 years, 3 years and plus adults, you really then need to start reading the condition of the animal and feeding it appropriately. So if it's looking round and sort of not any muscle tone in it, you need to start feeding a smaller prey item or stretching the interval between feeds. You really got to look at the snake and decide what sort of meal it should be eating and what it's doing. If it's a female coming into season, sure, you want some extra condition. If it's a male, you don't want any fat on that at any time. So you really got to learn to read it for what it needs. And mate, I've got adult snakes that are 6 kilos that get a medium rat, 150 gram rat for a feed, just to keep the condition spot on. You don't want them getting too fat. So they should look rectangular-ish, not roundish and bloaty.
Yeah. Once they get the adult side in, boys, it's just a maintenance feed. There's nothing wrong. I've read rubbish that big males don't breed and all this garbage. It's a load of rubbish like that.
Yep.
The boy that produced this clutch is probably the best part of 6 kilos. He's a massive Darwin, huge big boy. And you size them every year. So don't let people think, oh no, keep them lean, keep them small, that sort of stuff. Keep them healthy, get them to a reasonable size. It won't make any difference or any hindrance in their performance. So a big fat old male, okay, different story. But we're not talking about being fat. We're talking about healthy and a good size and condition. So, that first couple of years when that snake's growing, you can feed them. They'll put all that energy into growth, and as they hit maturity around that 2.5 years of age, that's when you can then start your maintenance feeding. Much better. Matty Trays missed the vid. What was the outcome? I lost. Brent and I had a bit of a gamble. I was hoping I'd get more albinos than not, so I was hoping for 15 albs and 9 wild types. So Brent went the opposite. And Brent ended up winning. It was almost a 50-50 clutch, but we got 11.
Right down to the wire.
Yeah, right down the wire. What do you get? 11. Was it 10? 11 albs and 13.
13 wilds.
Yeah.
Yep. Yes, and a great victory it was for KHP.
It was. Yeah, it won him a bottle of Bailey's. Sorry, did I say that out loud? Whoops.
1 litre bottle of Bailey's out loud.
I didn't write that down anyway.
No, it's official. We'll rewind, go back to the video ref if we have to.
Video ref, look out.
Thank you, Michelle, for clarifying that for us. There it is. It's in black and white, or purple and white now. Yeah, Bo says that's my vacuum snake. Others don't eat. That's the one. Yep, cleans them up. Yeah, we've all got those snakes that just eat everything that's left around. Anything that's uneaten goes somewhere. I have lace monitors for that reason as well. Any leftovers certainly don't take long to get torn apart in the lacy setup. That's very artistic, does.
There we go. I just sort of draw a little snakey on there for you. There we go.
Very pretty. Very pretty. You can frame that and sell that as your first live online loss.
That's like your post-it notes.
Yes, Anthony says, when I order rats, I always feed the smaller ones first. I thought this was the best practice to get them slowly grow. Yeah, it can do smaller ones in first when you've certainly got a smaller animal. You want the smaller stuff in the bag to go through first, but that's always going to depend, like Daz said, on the size of the lump that it's giving it, whether it's doing it any good or not. And your interval between feeds, if you're feeding a small one and leaving it 2 weeks or 3 weeks, it's probably just maintenance feeding it and keeping it ticking along for the time being. Won't be growing too much, but
yeah. And it's subject to what you want to do with the animal. If it's just a nice display cabinet and it's just let's say more of a pet other than something you want to breed with, then having it grow at a slow rate's fine. And having it, just a maintenance feed of not something overly big is also fine. Yeah, I don't know. I know if I wanted to put an albino on display, I'd want it to be a sizable looking animal. I certainly wouldn't want it to be, a 4 foot skinny looking thing at 4 years of age. I want it to be, 6-7 foot long and a nice bit of girth on it, so it's impressive. I mean, someone sees and go, oh wow, check that out, because they're an absolutely stunning animal.
Yep. Yep, and certainly as they get older too, the albino girl I've got that's 11 or 12 years old, it's huge. Their head just never stops growing. They're a beautiful big animal at a very mature age.
Yeah, they're lovely. They're generally such a plastic thing too. I know you get the odd terror. Yeah, but generally speaking, albino Darwins, even the hets are all pretty good. Back when they were first around, before albinos and that hit, Darwins were assholes. Like they were up there with jungles in terms of just being a
nasty temperament.
Yeah. And then when the albinos, I think it was twofold. One, there was people in the Northern Territory. I don't know if this rule still applies, but back then, I'm talking probably 15 odd years ago. If they were called out to a rescue a snake, they could then take that snake and then sell that snake. They were allowed to keep if it was a call out and a rescue. So I think a lot of the Darwins and that came into the hobby back in the earlier sort of days were wild types, and they were just angry and they were buggers to breed and everything. Then obviously when Simon Stone got hold of the wild caught albino and was able to bring that in the hobby, suddenly people were inbreeding or line breeding and producing. Obviously, some albinos are outcrossed into different stuff, but you suddenly got a captive population. There's no more wild. Like, why would you want to go out and get your hands on a wild type? There's so much around at the moment. So, and you've seen how through captive breeding, the temperaments of those animals is so much better.
Has helped a lot. Most of the albinos very calm, sometimes too calm. They're not renowned sometimes for being a little bit harder to get feeding at times. They've got a bit of a reputation for it. I think it's a mixed bag. Some are great, some are not so great. But so some of them can be super placid to the point they're not even excited about food.
Yeah, they can be difficult ones to get feeding, but generally once they go pretty well. They feed really well normally. But yeah, getting some of them over that line can be a bit of a problem if they're placid. I'd rather something with a little bit of feistiness to it, a little bit of snap to it to try to get feeding than something that's really gentle and placid sort of thing. That can come later once they're feeding well.
Exactly. More important they eat well. There's plenty of time for them to calm down. You know, at 18 months old, most of them calm down a fair bit anyway, so it's just a patience game.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's a massive question. It might seem like a simple one, but you want to have a think on that one, Brent, and have an answer, or you want me to?
This will be the last question of the night. I think
so. I think so.
This will be a 5-minute question, and I got stuff to do, so we'll wrap it up with this one. In a nutshell, there's different times of the year. Snakes are going to stop feeding for different things, so it's a lot of factors come into play with when a snake does stop eating. The short answer is wait longer. Generally, they'll always come back onto food if the conditions are right. If it's stopped eating and nothing's really changed, check everything's right. Check the temps are still okay. You haven't killed a heat cord, heat lamb, something's not bothering the animal. It's changed. If it's a time of year thing, females and males will go off food through winter, and that can happen as early as hatchies that are 6-month-old that can just take a little bypass from food for a few months. Adults will go 6-7 months without food. So there's different reasons why things go off food, but it's not always a bad thing. People often panic and think something's wrong, and it can be. If a snake is sick, generally they're not going to eat. So you certainly, if it hasn't eaten for a month and it's normally great on the food, might be worth having a good check around, check the temps, check it's not a wet mouth and no mucus in the mouth, nothing, no lumps or bumps on it that are clearly visible. But generally, it's not always a bad thing. And there's some snakes that just won't eat all year round. That's just, I've got a couple of big Bradley boys that eat 4 or 5 times a year. They're just nightmare through winter. They want to know about food. And summer, when they'll take a feed, great. If not, leave them alone, let them be. They still got great condition. When I feed them a big meal, and that gets them through for a month or so. So,
yep.
Yeah, it's more you want to add to that, Dazza?
Yeah, other things as well. Sometimes it can be coming for a shed. Like you might not notice that it's starting to go blue, and you haven't noticed, and it won't want to eat or get puppy with you trying to feed it. And as Brent alluded to with temperatures, it can a 1 degree temperature change can be enough for something to eat to not eat. Stress on top of that as well. So if it's this is something I tend to see more so on Facebook pages when someone, I've just picked up my snake and now it won't eat. And assuming, and this is a big assumption because you assume that if I sell something, when I sell it, I know it's a bulletproof feeder. I won't sell it unless it's smashing food. So I know if it goes somewhere and there's a problem, I know 99.99% of the time it's a problem that they've created. So if it's something new, yep, could be set up, could be temperatures, could be in your lounge room, could be in a glass tank as opposed to something a little bit more where it feels secure in, so stress related. And I find the most common one is handling. I would say that the majority of people get their snake. It's not a puppy dog, and they want to play with it every day. So, the kids come home from school, they rip it out of its hide box. Being a nocturnal animal, they're active at night time. During the day, they're normally curled up, hiding somewhere asleep. The first thing you've done is rip the hide out, woken them up, pulled them out, and snakes go, what the hell is going on? Leave me alone. Kid plays with it every day from school. They go to feed it on the weekend because they've been told, leave it for a week, let it settle down. Oh, snake won't eat. What's wrong? And you ask the right questions. And, how often have you been handling it? Oh, just a couple of times every day. Okay, there's your problem. And you'll hear us saying constantly, put it in a tub, cover it
leave
up,
it alone.
Leave it alone, make sure the temperature's right, make sure it's got somewhere to hide, let it settle down, establish a feeding regime with it. Priority number one. And I always suggest get it feeding. When it has a poo and you need to clean it, take it out, put your hand like this, hold the snake, get someone to clean the tub. It'll get familiar with being held while you clean the tub, put it back in, put the lid on it and chuck it away. Repeat the process next week till you've got that established. So there's a million things that can cause it, really. There's a lot of things in subject, but that's a few anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the hardest thing is getting people to leave it alone when they get it, like plenty of time to handle it. The animal's going to live for 20 years. You got plenty of time to play with it down the track. That getting feeding in that new environment with change of everything, definitely going to be a change of temp. It's not going to be the exact same temperature it was at the breeder's place. So, change of temp, change of environment, change of lighting, change of everything. So, but, the other thing, if you've got an established animal that stops feeding for different reasons, you've tried everything, you've got to change something. You can't just, people say to me, I've been trying to feed this snake, I've offered it 10 feeds and, it still won't eat. I say, well, you got to have to change something. You can't just keep offering the same thing, change the food type, change temps, change the setting, add a hide. You can't just keep banging your head against the wall with the exact same process. So sometimes you've got to mix things up a little bit to invoke a feed again. Sometimes it's just off food and not recognizing it as food, needs a sensing or something else to aggravate it a little bit, kick it into gear, and then it might feed perfectly after that. But you've got to change your approach a little bit if things aren't working well.
Definitely
have a play around.
Yeah, fine. It could be enough. It could be a matter of bumping the temperatures a couple of degrees, and then once you get it feeding, whatever you've done to get it to feed, don't change anything. Leave it. I'd normally recommend, if you've got it to feed, leave it 4 to 5 days and then try to offer it another feed. Because it builds, the metabolism cranks up. As long as they've got the right heat and everything, they've had a feed. By the time
a bit more energy.
Yep, a bit more energy. 4 days comes around, the metabolism's going. They're probably thinking, geez, I'm getting hungry. Offer them another feed. So you can pump a few feeds into them, so to speak, to get that metabolism and get that feeding response going really strong. Then once you're there, you can then start to back that off once they're established. I do it with all my hatchies, for example. I've got a whole clutch of ants to feed on Thursday, and they're all getting fed again tonight.
Yep.
So they just have that few days rest, and it will build. They'll get that aggression for wanting to feed. So when you open a drawer up and put that food in, they're not going to think, oh, is it food? Do I have to strike? Who's the big scary man there putting something in? They'll just go, food, it's hot, bang, call, wrap up, shut the drawer, go to the next one, leave them, forget they're even there for another 4 days and go and do it again. And you'll get your animals feeding it really, really well. Skink tails, I've done skink tails back in the, I used to catch them around the backyard, wait till they drop their tails off, get their tails, mash it into a paste, put some hot water in it, and then dip the pinky heads in it.
Whatever it takes, eh?
Yeah,
a lot of tricks.
Yeah.
Some work so well, some not so well, but like you say, when you get desperate with some animals that just show no interest in food, you've got to try all those sorts of things that something triggers it at some point.
Yeah. So it comes with experience and asking people, I guess, as well. It always helps, but it's one of those, there's a million answers to it.
Yep, definitely. Back to gym tomorrow, Daz?
Yes, mate. Yes, back to the gym, diet,
Back in the
starts,
groove.
everything. So I've got to shred my weight down. So I want to aim to lose
Beautiful.
20 kilos. So I know it'll take a bit of time, but I got there. What I do 3 months. What I do last time I went to the gym, I dropped. What was I? Was 220. Sorry, 220. 124, I think, after
Say
the
220.
surgery weight
bloody
come
hell.
down. Yeah, and then I did that gym comp and got down to 103. So,
Yep.
but I found my balance around when I was away working because obviously you're too buggered to go to the gym. But I got my balance around that 109, 110 sort of weight, and now COVID tax, I'm back up to 120. So I want to get back down to that 100 kilo mark. I'm happy there. So
Back in the zone. Yeah, well, mate, you started. That's all you can do. You're back on track.
Yeah, that's it. So I thought I'll just go and kind of little bit of a diet just to start to get the body in condition. But obviously the weekend I just didn't bust myself, so to speak, just had a normal one. But yeah, come this week it'll be back on the supplements and protein shakes and all that sort of stuff just to get myself refocused, shred a good 10 kilos off over the next couple of months or something or other. And then be a little bit more realistic on normal food. So
yeah, back in the game. Good stuff. Josh says, damn, missed that cutting. Yeah, it'll reload again, mate. So give it 10 minutes. Facebook does a little save and reload, and you can come back and see Darren lose 1 litre of Bailey's. It will be very exciting, trust me. Donna Bennett. G'day, Donna. How are you? We're just about to go, Donna. You've come very late because we're just about to sign off. So where can people find you, Mr. Morelia by Design?
Yep, on Facebook, Instagram, Darren Whitaker, Morelia by Design. And we are working on YouTube. That'll be coming slowly. I know one of mine's come up on the YouTube page, but it's not set up properly. And yourself, Brent?
Yep, KHP Reptiles on Facebook, Brent Smith on Messenger. I am there most of the time. The messages roll in, day out.
Awesome. So if you guys see our posts, don't forget to like them and share them if you don't mind, and try and get more people interested. Hopefully some people can learn from the dribble that we speak. But we enjoy it, and hopefully you guys too. I know plenty of people have been messaging myself saying that they enjoy seeing the egg cutting shows. I know
it's fun.
Yeah, I know I've got some more clutches due in the next few days. How about you, Brent? You still a bit off yet?
Early next week, I think. I think the next one's Tuesday, Wednesday next week. It's certainly the Super Zebra clutch very sucked in. So, yeah, I think by middle of next week we'll have that one ready to roll.
Awesome. Sounds good. I share your lies always. Thanks, Donna. Appreciate that.
Thank you, Donna. Thank you for everyone who checked in and enjoyed the show, hopefully.
Yep.
We'll see if I can win the bottle of litre of Kahlua on the next cut, eh?
I'll probably buy it. It'll sit in the cupboard by the time I see you next time. It'll either get drunk or I'll win it back.
or you'll be over here drinking it with me, one or the other.
Yeah, maybe. That might be the go-to. I'm on the way. Get the glasses chilled. Oh, you got ice on tap now. So
hey, you got the super fridge operational. Does all sorts of ice, mate. You just bring the cup. We'll be all right.
That's it. Ryan says good night. See you, mate. Thanks for jumping in. And all right. Thanks, guys. Good night. And we'll see you on the next one.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.